respect, professionalism, and gratitude.
Because it's really important to present your team in a polished way, in a very unified way, and you want to be a positive team that other teams are excited to interact with and connect with and work with, things like that. And so you need to keep things in mind, like being GP or, cooperation, and just setting examples for the people that you're around, whether those are people on your team or in your community. Like for leadership on a team, it's really important that they are showing good character for everyone else on their team, because everybody looks up to that leadership team. And if the leadership team is being really kind and encouraging, then everybody else is going to have more of a positive outlook on what's going on the team, even if you're in a difficult situation. And also fostering pride, being team-spirited. That's something that our team's been working on, is being one of those teams that cheers at competitions, whether that's for us or other teams, or for our alliance or a different alliance. It's really important to show that,
Yeah, because we will admit, in previous years we've been kind of like that,
we're like the serious team.
Yeah, serious team. That's we're here to compete, but I think it's super important to show spirit and
and you have more fun.
Yeah, and again,
much more fun.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun.
Like we got into face paint this year, and it was kind of a mess, but it was really great. It was really fun. So
showing pride in our team and others.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And that's actually another good point. Team bonding. Our team, we tend to bond in our sub-teams. You're connected with the people who you work with, but it's also great to have times where you're working with people who aren't in your sub-team, who you might not know, or you might not know that well, and working with them and becoming friends with people who you might not otherwise be friends with. That's a great thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's super important. I believe that is our last point.
We've got a slide of just who's on our marketing team.
That's our marketing team.
There are actually a couple people who are on our marketing team
that just joined.
Who aren't showing up there, but we have it broken down into leadership, and then we've got people who do awards and outreach and newsletters and graphic design, videography, photography, and things like that. And we have some people who are more specialized in what they do, but there are also people who just kind of will do whatever, and that's great too. That's super important, actually.
Yeah, general trades.
Yeah, and then
that's
it.
That is it.
So,
although I would like to touch, we didn't touch the subject, is awards. Awards is a huge thing that the marketing team does, and I believe if Sir is here, you guys are like, I would love if our team was a chairman's team, but unfortunately we are not. So you guys do so much for your community, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
So chairman's is a huge award that, again, I would love to win with it.
Miley here's the person who deals with that award, so he's pretty passionate about it. But yeah, I mean, chairman's is a great honor to win, and we try for it. I think that's important to at least try, but to be able to
actually
learn it, that's awesome. So
that's crazy.
Anyway, do you guys have any questions or anything like that for us?
First off, thank you. But also, you talked about engaging sponsors. So what are the steps that you do from reaching out to, what do you do for your sponsors basically?
Well, we've been developing a sponsor packet. Haley can probably talk more in depth about that.
Yeah, we've been developing a sponsor packet, so we're able to reach out effectively to businesses in our community. So we have kind of like a letter of request talking about why we think they would be an effective sponsor for our team. We have a presentation that's set up so we're able to go and present to the company if they like our letter of request and think that this could potentially be an opportunity for them to sponsor our team. and we'll talk to them about if they've already done stuff for our team, if they've already given us product or money or mentorship, or if they've given anything to the first organization, and just kind of telling them why we think they should be on, or why they should be sponsored. And then if they agree to be our sponsor, we try to keep them engaged through inviting them to competitions so they can see where their money is going.
As well as newsletters.
Yeah, newsletters.
We have recap videos after each of our competitions, and we make sure that that's well known and that's seen. Yeah, and we also have sponsor levels, so that way if a company does want to sponsor us, they can select, they know what they'll be getting for how much money they give us. And they will see, you know, if they gave us, I don't know, $1,000, what that would do for us. Well, what we would do for them actually. But
Yeah.
What's that?
How do you identify sponsors in your community? What sort of sponsors do you look for?
Ones that are already in the technological field,
Okay.
right? Because it benefits them to be supporting a team that's promoting STEM, because we will potentially become a part of their workforce. So, yeah.
I think it's important to acknowledge we're in an area that has a lot of technology companies.
That's
you know, just down the road from where we meet is Fleur and Xerox and Mentor Graphics. So that's one area where we have an advantage, I think, just because those are local companies with local offices. So
That's right.
okay.
It's good to know.
But you also have a lot of first teams in your area, I guess, right? So how do you not, or do you not?
I wouldn't say we have the most.
I mean, as far as competing for resources?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How do you know that you have maybe been approached by 10 other teams or whatever?
There isn't another FRC team that
In our
approaches
city.
our sponsors necessarily. I think we all are getting some funding from the first or top, but we have, the nearest team is in Westland, which is 10 miles away.
That seems very close.
It is very close, but we've so far been sort of like, you guys get Westland and we get Wilsonville, and they are
Which corner are you working?
we're one
Yeah.
school district. It's the Westland-Wilsonville School District. And we've been around since 2004. We're actually not a school-sponsored team. We meet at Wilsonville High School, but we do not receive financial support other than meeting space, which is kind of an in-kind donation. But the Westland team is sponsored by the school, so they're getting lovely resources that we wish we could get our hands on. So that's we've been able to kind of maintain that divide. It's not an official agreement. It's just, for example, there's one restaurant that has one in Westland and one in Wilsonville, and we go to the Wilsonville one. And we're trying to figure. We're happy that there is another FRC team in our school district in our immediate area now, but I suppose someday that could become an issue. But we're working very cooperatively with the Westland team, and there's been no, conflict rivalry. We do that.
I saw a question back there.
So what type of things do you offer the business? What things do you say that will be done for them when you offer them the different tiers of sponsorship?
Well, it depends how much they give us. But for like our highest tier, they'll be on our shirts. They'll be on the sponsor banner.
The website.
On the robot.
On the robot, that's true.
Thank you, add in the paper.
Yep, in the paper, in social media posts, potentially, that's what it is. Things like that.
What do you mean by in the paper?
So this year we had a little thank you to our sponsors in one of the local papers.
An advertisement. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an ad that we place, not just this past year, we do it regularly, though we skipped one year. But we put the logos of our major sponsors and they're sized by tier. So the lower ones that give maybe $500 or $250 just kind of have their name in it. So it's visually like Xerox is right there. In the local papers, not the Oregonian, it's the Westland Tidings and the Wilsonville Spokesman. So it's very,
The community papers.
very much going to the community. Yeah.
Are there other questions?
Can you tell me a little bit about your social media presence?
So we've got 4 main social medias. We've got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And we use them differently depending on our audience. So Facebook, that's more catered towards parents, and we'll send out a little blurb like after a competition explaining how we did and things like that. And then we've got Twitter, that's more immediate, and we'll say like after a match we'll post something like, we got this score, thanks to our alliance, or great job to the other alliance for winning, stuff like that. Instagram is more for sponsors and also other teams.
So your sponsors are on Instagram?
Some of them are, yeah. I mean, not all of them, but some of them are. And a post from Instagram would be something like a recap of the day, or something like that, explaining how we did, but not as in-depth as Facebook. And then YouTube is where we put our competition recaps.
Would you agree that social media has really helped us build relationships with teams out of our area, out of our district? Because that's been something we see you guys at our competition, and like us, we go to, CAIS or whatever, but one thing we've been trying to do, you probably notice when you go to regionals or when you're at Worlds, the teams that know each other kind of tend to pick each other more, so that's been a big goal for marketing, is to make these relationships with teams that we don't see at competition necessarily every year. And I think that's paid off in a good way. You guys just got back